Let's get down to business. Just saying, season 2, episode 9. Bromeo, here are we.
Man, are we here? And here are we. Man, it's I feel like I've seen so much of you already, GB. It's been one of those weekends. It was packed with Rocket League. It was a great weekend. It's always a good weekend when there's Rocket League in it. And leading up to this episode has been weird because there's so much to talk about and so much we wanted to talk about but haven't been able to talk about.
And we shall talk about it tonight. All righty. Well, let's say how's it to whoever has showed up here. Who we got? We got Eben, we got Bruv, we got Ender, Legal Avoxy, Yoshi, Vinko, Scraffy, Stones, Tido, Aragorn, San, and Eben Fenter again. Hello, chaps. Welcome to it. Thanks for being there. A whole bunch of things are going on. And Bromeo, you mentioned us like it feels like we're seeing a lot of each other. And that is a good thing. It means there are reasons for us to be seeing one another and interacting and doing things. It is a really jammed schedule. I know we've been harping on about it, but it's worth harping on since there's much to be harped.
Well, we could pick any instrument. It doesn't even need to be the harp. But I feel like this year has been, and we've said this a couple of times. We've said that there is so much going on, and I truly feel like this has been one of those where there's so much going on. Just 2 weeks ago, I was in Cape Town talking about Rocket League. This past weekend, I was in Rivonia talking about Rocket League. And next weekend, I'm going to be talking about Rocket League. End of the month, I'm going to be talking about Rocket League. And it's not slowing down, and I love it.
Well, let's get cracking. So the first thing on the agenda for tonight is the Ascension Protocol 1v1 $1,500 tournament is this coming weekend. $1,500 sponsored by Chalked Cast. And if you don't know who Chalked Cast are, they are Johnny Boy, CJ, and Garrett G. They have sponsored, given us $1,500. And this is an SSA only tournament, hard region locked. And I've been surprised by the fact that I've only had to boot 2 players who signed up who are not from the region, and had to boot them out, one from Portugal and one from somewhere in MENA. But otherwise, we have 71 signups, and the signups close on Wednesday at 5 o'clock. So there are still 2 days to sign up for that if you want to get some 1v1 action, double elimination bracket. And then on Sunday for the top 12. So Saturday, I will watch party. Whoever is POV streaming, we will sort of keep an eye on the bracket and jump between streams. But then on Sunday is a full broadcast for the top 12. We have 4 streamers streaming on Sunday. Obviously, the main stream will be my channel. And then we have Sir Pegasus, we have CYB streaming, and Ground Zero will be streaming. And on the main stream will be produced by Hazza. Now, those who don't know Hazza, and he's a legend in RSC circles. He's an official RLCS observer. He's done broadcasts for all the big guys, and he is the producer, which is just such a sense of relief. And then Bromeo, as far as I know, you are, I have some co-casters. Bromeo, you're one of them, so another reason for us to see each other. You around on Sunday?
I am indeed.
Excellent. And then Machtfish will be in for casting some series. And then the grand final will be cast by Johnny Boy himself. So stay tuned for that this coming Sunday. As I said, the sign-ups close Wednesday at 5 o'clock, so there's still a couple days to sign up if you want to get involved. Brackets will be released hopefully on Thursday. And since I'm running this, I'm I'm going to be involved with seeding for the first time, and I'm terrified, but very fortunate in that Noob Slice will be helping. Read the Sloth will be helping. So some legends in the admin side of things will be helping me. And I have to do a quick shout out to Stones. Stones, I see you there, and thank you very much for the sub. Huge. Thank you very much. So that's the Ascension Protocol this coming weekend. Kickoff on Saturday, 5 o'clock, and then top 12 Sunday, 5 o'clock. Next up, there is a Cash Cup. Psionic sponsored Cash Cup. That is, the signups are closed. The bracket hasn't been published yet, but this starts tomorrow at 5 o'clock. There are 64 teams signed up for that. And this is not a region-locked event, so a mixture of the usual collection of misfits and so on will be playing that. I will be streaming parts of that, probably the final on Wednesday. It's being played over 2 days, tomorrow and Wednesday, so I will stream sort of closer to the end of it, and hopefully we see some SSA players in there doing their thing. 64 teams, which is lower than we might expected, but we're in a weird sort of dead time now, Bromeo. Kind of not quite off season, but yes, it's off season, but there's a lot going on. And yeah, but still 64 2v2 teams doing action tomorrow.
I mean, 64 teams isn't anything to scoff at, but you're right. It is a weird time of the year. It's that time of the year where RLCS has now taken a back seat. There's no, big SSA involvement at Worlds. So it's time for the community to start doing its things and doing its things it shall be doing. And now we've got these weird little events like 2v2 cash cups, and I say little, but they're actually pretty damn big. And in times gone past, we were being like, oh my gosh, punting the hell out of it.
This would be the biggest thing going right now.
Yeah.
It's just one of the things going.
It's just one of the things going, which is absolutely mind-boggling. Actually, I was just sitting thinking about it right now. Is that this is a side note in one of the bigger broadcasts we've done. Just content-wise, and I was thinking, I didn't even realize we were going to be talking about this.
$1,400 first prize for the 2v2 Cash Cup. No time left to sign up, so if you didn't sign up but wanted to, well, tough luck. It is kicking off tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Then, one of the many reasons we've had to see one another, Bromeo, this past weekend, we were at a LAN, and I wonder who in chat even knew it was happening. Varsity Esports. Now, this is University Rocket League, and Metal State are running that. And they contacted us like a few days ago and said, hey, we're bringing up some teams to play in Varsity Esport, Varsity Rocket League. Do you want to cast? And we're like, of course. So not much was known about it, but there we were in Rivonia at the EFC Arena casting University Rocket League.
It was something that caught me completely by surprise because I just received a WhatsApp from somebody at Metal State who was referred to me by Altruism, and he was like, hey, do you want to cast this LAN? And I was like, what LAN? And he's like, this LAN. And and this is right in Rivonia, and this is happening next weekend. And I'm like, this is fantastic. This is awesome. Why did I not know about it? And there was a little bit of consternation online as to why nobody knew this was happening. But I think we need to point out the fact that it did happen. And the biggest thing for me is that we've now got another Rocket League event. And this time, this one covers the university level esports. And I know you're having a look at the photos there. And just having a look at some of the faces there, you'll recognize that from some RLCS teams. And it was really, really cool being, in a LAN in Joburg. It was my first Joburg LAN.
Now, a number of people pointing out the the giant that you are in those photos. Yes, Bromeo is tall. He takes up a lot of those photographs, and so yeah, it's quite something. And we were casting next to each other, and it was. I am bang on average height. 5'10" is what I am, and Bromeo is several heads and shoulders above me. So, for some context, what this varsity LAN was, so the varsity season has 2 splits, and each split has a final at a LAN. This was the LAN finals for split 1. The next
Mm-hmm.
split then gets underway, and I think it's sort of around October-ish will be the next LAN. And then there is a final, which will be at Rage in December. So if you're going to be in Joburg, you definitely want to get yourself to Rage, because that's where the big final is going to be. And I'm not sure where the split 2 LAN will be, if they're going to have it in Joburg again. I think Metal State likes to do it in Joburg because they're based in Joburg, for the same reason
Mm-hmm.
that ACGL likes to do their LANs in Cape Town, because they are in Cape Town. But what we want to do, we will have a lot more forewarning for the split 2 LAN, and when we
Yeah.
do, we will publish that far and wide, because we want to have an army of Rocket League fans and community to descend on the LAN venue, and then we just take it over and have ourselves a banger time, because really that's all. That's what was missing, is
Yeah.
given a bit more time and forewarning. Bromeo, we could have jammed that place.
Well, even if it's held at the same place, which there is a strong possibility that it will be, um, given their relationships and their sponsors and all of that, um, I think that yes, it was the one thing that was missing, and it's the one thing that could have really turned it into a completely different event. And I know that once we have the dates, I know that we will blast the hell out of it on social media on this podcast, because honestly, the only thing that could have made that event better was seeing all of you guys there.
Oh yeah.
And that's just for me, because it would have been amazing, because the environment was great, the Rocket League was great, the production was incredible. Um,
Mm.
but the only thing that was missing was you guys. So I do think, GB, I know you're going to do this regardless, but there will be a massive push to make sure that you guys know about when it happens, because it's a free opportunity to get together
Mm.
in a
And
nice
that's important.
event. Yeah,
Free.
completely free, and doesn't cost anybody anything, and you get to watch Rocket League live. So I thought that was really cool.
All right, well, let's get into some of the details of the event. So there were 4 varsity teams, UCT, Tux, and there were 2 Stellenbosch teams, the Stellenbosch A and the Stellenbosch B, which gives you a sense of how good Stellenbosch Rocket League is. The Tomates and the Turbo Squad. Tomates is the A team, which is Darth, Blade, and why have I gone blank? He's there in
Zyro.
the picture. Zyro.
Yeah.
Now Zyro's going to feature again in this podcast in just a moment. And then on the B team, we had Beefy Cow, Dino, and
Now
I need
you're
to see
asking
that
me
picture.
big
No.
leagues.
Now all I need to do is see that picture, because he's in that picture there. We got both the teams. Uh, Dino,
Dino,
Beefy
Beefy
Cow,
Cow.
and
You can do
oh my
it.
god! And
You
if
can do
any of
it.
them are watching, I'm going to be.
You're building
Oh
this
my word!
occasion now. It'll be that time.
Someone in chat is going to help me out here, because I have gone completely blank, and that is atrocious. And at least I've got age as an excuse. You got no excuse, Bromeo.
Joe, I am terrible with names. I'm good with other things like not names. And speaking of not names, I feel like the Stellenbosch A team was a missed opportunity. They called themselves the Tomates because it's Marties, but they could have called themselves like Stellenbosch. or something.
Stellenbosch, that would have been good.
Stellenbosch,
This is why
But
they're going to tell us of these things early, so we can give them these W
yeah,
suggestions.
these winning puns. But I try to buy you as much time as I could, Greybeard. So if you haven't got it by now, it just means we need to take this one on the chin.
And then the other team, featured in the photographs there, that's the Tux team, and that's Potato with a gun in the middle. To the left is Xander. No,
Don't do this, Greybeard.
no. I knew it's Zanele. I think he goes. Oh my gosh! And
Wait,
then
give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I can get the names for you. Unlike you, I save these names so that at some point where I need to recollect them, I can read them instead of having to rely on my memory.
While you're finding that, so Potato with a Gun is with Tux. They're going to be joined shortly by Technic Eagle, so that will beef up that varsity team.
I mean, it would be a pretty good team, yeah.
Yeah, but these guys did remarkably well against very, very good opposition. And I see Ender in chat is going, surely the Stellies A team cleaned out everybody. And the too long didn't read that's exactly what happened there.
Okay, so GB, the Tux side was Potato, Kwanzaa, and Dragon Mage.
Kwanzaa! That's Quanele, that's why. Yeah, okay, Quanele, that's
okay.
Kwanzaa.
And then the second team for Stellies was Dino, Blaze, and it says Cam.
Blaze. Well, yeah, Cam is also Beefy Cow. So he goes
Cam
Beefy
was Beefy
Cow.
I mean, Beefy Cow is one of the best names ever. It sounds like an Xbox name, but it's also completely unique. I have never heard that before, and I love it. And then obviously not on screen right now is the UCT team, which is comprised of Solitude, 45 Degrees, and Obsidian.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get a picture with them. They bounced before we could grab them for a photo, which is unfortunate. What I liked about the UCT team is that they were all guys I don't know. So those are new players on the scene, and that always gets me very, very excited. And then I see in who said this in chat? Oh, Jeff, that Banana Cat is at Tuck. So we're not quite sure why Banana Cat wasn't playing, but a roster of Potato, Banana Cat, and Technic would be quite the roster. So hopefully they will come storming in Split 2. And the news for UCT is that To Die For will be joining them. So
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And I'm going to give you a hot take. Look, Stellies is very dominant right now. Stellies A and B were featured in the final, but my favorite game of the day was the third-fourth playoff between Wits and Tux, purely because it was so competitive and it was so evenly matched.
That was certainly the most entertaining. It was only one that went to a decider. All series were 3-1, with the exception of that third-fourth playoff that went all the way to 5 games. Banger of a day. So the Stellenbosch A team, the Tomatis, they were victorious in the Split 1 LAN final. Huge shout out to Metal State for putting it on and making it happen, and actually giving them a LAN experience. And what was great about that is it wasn't just it was they were fully accommodated. Accommodation, travel, they had the full LAN experience. And for anyone who's been on a LAN, cool. It's huge. It is such a great experience. I mean, people Potato's been to a couple of Comic Cons. Darth has been to Worlds, so he might have been a bit ho-hum about it all, as Darth is ho-hum about most things.
he looked very enthused, but he's just so accustomed to winning that, even in victory, he was like, yeah, this is, just another Saturday, to be honest.
Hold on a second. There's a hype train going. What?
Wait. How did we get a hype train going? Who did what? Why?
In chat, I'm like, what? I don't know what I've missed there.
We're not that kind of stream. How did we manage that? You guys like us that much to get a hype train going? Please, I'm not doing another Shuey. Greybeard's here. He's watching. It's like dad watching.
I have a feeling that Cody Lucky had something to do with it, because he's the kind of guy who's likely to start something. Now, Cody Lucky, you probably don't know him, bro. You know, he found his way to this stream. I feel like it's 3 years ago now. Based in the US, and been a massive supporter of the stream. So, Cody, you're a good man. Yeah, that was the Varsity Land. Stay tuned for more. There is
Oh,
going to
damn.
be more.
Sorry,
What was
sorry,
that?
Dutch. I just need to interrupt you again because the hype train is chewing this time by the hand of Dutch. So we are that kind of stream, Dutch. Thank you. If you don't know Dutch, he's a big boy in the bro community. And ever so in pops in and just makes sure that train is going strong. We've now hit level 3. I don't know what that means, but it's
Neither
fun.
do I, and I don't think I've ever hit a level 3. This is rarefied air. I don't know what's going on. Dutch, we miss you. We miss you, Dutch. I just want to say that. Wow, that's banger. How's it, Voodoo? Next up, talking of things LAN. Talking of things LAN, the next big LAN coming up. Well, there is a Bloemfontein one, which is going to be. I'm not sure how that's going to pan out. I know you're going to that, right, Bromeo?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be there. And speaking of Cody's now thrown 5 gifted into it. So, GB, I'm not sure why it wasn't planning to be that stream, but it's turning out to be that stream. So thanks, Cody. And no, I think we do need to throw a little bit of love to Bloom. They are going to be casting it. It is going to be produced, and I will be there. And I'll go so far as to say that there's a few people from Joburg who've been threatening to go. Muzz is one of them, and if you don't know Muzz, he's one of the other caster bros in the scene, long running. So it has some very low key potential to be one of the destination lands of the year. I'm not going to hype it up
Okay.
too much, but it will be streamed. It will be streamed. So when I get all of the links and all of that stuff, I will post it out there. I think we can talk about it again before I depart, but that'll be next Monday. So we'll carry
Yeah.
over all of the fun stuff then.
All right. Well, the next big LAN is, of course, Comic-Con, coming up 28th to the 31st of August next month. And the teams are now finalized. There are the high school finals and then the championship finals. And for the high schools, I'm going to need to just grab an image. This one here. So the high schools. So there's 4 high schools coming. So there'll be 2 semifinals and a final, which is an improvement from last year, because last year was just the high school finals that was played at Comic-Con. Now we got the semis and the final coming up. And that's going to be Point High School versus Edgemead High School. And the second semifinal will be Oosmoed, last year's champions, against CDV Wolves. And then the winner of those 2 semis will play in the final. That's going to be live on LAN at Comic-Con. And then the big boys, the championships. There are 8 teams, and they are finalized. It is Highball, Genesix, Unity, Two Souls, Omnius Gaming, White Rabbit Gaming, the Brown Boys, and Pony no Jutsu. And I should just clarify, the Brown Boys are they were picked up by Monarch for the AGC LAN, and I don't know if Monarch is going to take them to Comic-Con or not. Bromeo, you and I were talking about this off stream, so if anybody in chat has info, do let us know. But the Brown Boys are I've got the roster here.
Tristan to
Tristan
die
and Guns.
for, and Guns.
Yeah, Guns to die for, and Tristan. So they will be among the favorites to win it. The highball roster, of course, is Devour, Ravi, and Skill Steel. Now, what particularly excites me about highball being there is that Devour and Ravi sort of were, last year this time, were very new in the scene. They'd sort of just come into the scene. and they found themselves going to Comic-Con. They played at Comic-Con along with Defunct, and they had a fantastic series against Comic-Con. And one of the best plays that I've witnessed live, probably still to this day, was Ravi getting like it was either a double or a triple demo. He demoed like the entire opposition, and Skill Seal just sort of walked the ball across the line. It was such a fantastic play. Um, but they ultimately lost and didn't go through. They were out on the first day, and poor little Devour was devastated. And I was like, dude, this is just experienced. And I loved the fact that he felt so badly about losing, just because it was a sign for me of his passion, his drive, and his ambition to do better. And now he's back at the self same land. So I want to see. I'm very keen to see how Ravi and Devour have grown and matured into the Rocket League scene. So that's going to be quite a banger. Of course, Genesix, last year's champions, Daps, Eli, and Declan will be there. And then the Unity roster is Friction, Lackstar, Clippy, and Technic Eagle. I'm assuming Clippy is the sub. Friction played on the Genesix roster last year, so he's now with Unity. And then Pony no Jitsu. It's kind of weird. This was the Cosmico roster, and it's now Pony no Jitsu. So I'm not quite sure what the story was there. Werty, Wilu, and Cam. And the big news there is that Wilu is coming from Reunion Island. He will be at Comic-Con. And that's I don't amazing. Know why that makes me so stupid excited, Bromeo, but I think that's one of the big highlight stories.
Because GB, you're one of those people who gets excited to see the community grow, and that is, big news for the community. And I think all of this is going to be amazing, that we get to see, Hybo in front of a crowd. We get to see Genesix. We used to get to see Omnius. And, all of these teams. And I feel like all of these orgs should be doing a very, very big job at making sure that people get through there. And, before chat washes it away, GB, what is the statistical chance of you doing a Shui on stream?
0, 100% 0. And right. I appreciate everyone's enthusiasm for it, but it will not be happening. The same percentage of chance of me shaving my beard.
Oh wow. Is it the shoe thing or is it the beard thing? Because I know you don't do either.
Well, listen, going back to Rocket League for a moment, I see Devour, and that Skill Steel's not coming to Comic-Con, which makes me sad, because I haven't seen Skill Steel on a LAN in person since 2019. And it looks like Dilly's going to be filling in for Skill Steel there. And I hope, I didn't read Skill Steel's sick note, but I hope it's a banger, because I'd be unlikely to accept any excuse. But it is what it is.
GB, I know we're talking over all the Shui chat, and I see my wife has also subbed at tier 1 to bring it in. But just going back to the Rocket League, GB, because we shall ignore all those shoe drinking peasants in chat, because they say level 10, and oh wow, they're gifting tiered subs now. GB, like it might be me who does the Shui on stream, but I actually do want to talk a little bit more about VS for a second, because I think that with the amount of teams being represented this year, high school and just opens, champs as it's called, I do think there is such an opportunity for everybody to meet up again. And I know that we always say this, and we try and hype up and drum up support as much as possible, just like we will for the Metal State LAN. But this, again, is a free opportunity for everybody to get together. Well, free-ish. You sort of have to get yourself into Comic-Con, but that's also fun. And, I think the responsibility on all of these orgs, they want to be serious about it. You want to see Omnius, WRG, Unity, Genesix. They've been around for a while, and I want to see flags at the LAN. I want to see supporters in the seats. And I feel like it's time. We've had enough physical events for it to happen. and it shouldn't just be, parents. And
So
I
let
feel
me
for the
say,
longest of the time, that's what it's been.
I want to do. If anyone has been to Comic Con, it's quite comical, and the pun is fully intended, because VS put all of their money, their production money, behind CS:GO. So when you arrive at Comic-Con, you see the CS:GO stage. It is huge with LED screens, and it's filled with seats. I mean, the seats go all the way back, and there are lights, and there's a massive stage production. And then Rocket League is on two trestle tables, a little bit of a built-up stage and a webcam. That's pretty much what we get for the Rocket League production. Yet we challenge. Our numbers are not far off CS:GO. So there are two things I would love to do: is pack it out with Rocket League fans so that the seats that they give us are just not enough to hold all the fans. And then those that can't make it to Comic-Con have got to get on Twitch and go absolutely nuts. The CS:GO final last year got around 300 viewers for the final of CS:GO. I want to smash that for Rocket League and go, guys, you are putting your money in the wrong place. Get it into Rocket League. So yeah, that, fly up to Joburg. We will get a bunch of. I'm sure I can get a bunch of passes so that we can do giveaways and all of that cool shit. But get to Comic-Con. Let's flood it out and make Rocket League's presence hugely felt.
Yeah, I'm even stirring up the bro chat. Hasn't been going for a while, so I was like, you know what? It's time to get the band together. We've done Bro Island, which was we rented out a house on the Vaal. 20 of my nearest and dearest friends spent the weekend on a stilt house on the Vaal Dam, and used as an excuse to go and watch Rocket League, which was great. It was absolutely fantastic. And every time there's a Comic-Con or something like that, we all get together, and it's always been absolutely fantastic. And for me, that is what this is all about. It's about meeting the people that you spend hours and hours and hours with online, and it's absolutely huge.
So some of the people you can come get to see at Comic-Con, not Skill Steel apparently, but Ravi and Devour, come and meet them. Devour, is Tubbsy going to make your sub? Will he be there and around? You'll get to see Dilly, Wee Casper, Galaxy, Banana Cat, Friction, Lackstar, Technic, Eagle, Werty, Willu, Cam, Daps, Eli, Declan, Tristan to Die For, Guns, Tweak, Serenity, Mercury, Dylan, Zyro, Ducklas, and Nitro. And by the way, that roster is Two Souls. Two Souls is Dylan, Zyro, Ducklas, Nitro. I don't know who's sub and who's main roster there. Dylan. No, Dylan's joining Highboy. Is that the same Dylan? I'm not sure. But they've been through a few brands. They were TKO, they were Crunch, but they are now Two Souls. Subs aren't allowed to partake in Comic-Con. Oh, well, that's kind of weird and unfortunate. Two Souls. Oh, it's Jeff now. Jeff, Zyro, and Nitro. Oh, my word.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so there's been a little roster mania with VS Gaming. All right, well, that's good to know. Thanks for that heads up, Jeff. Well, there we go. This is where you come for the information, and sometimes it's provided by chat.
Oh, and by the way, we will come to this a little bit later, but I am posting this in chat. This is completely separate, but we're talking about sponsors, and I just saw it pop up now. That there is the link for the Slayer sponsor that we have for RSC. We are going to tell you exactly where we are at with prize pool later. But I figured we could get a little bit higher before we do, GB. So sorry for butting that in on a completely unrelated note.
And if you want that link, you can also do !Slayer. We'll give you the pre-order link. So there we go. That is Comic-Con coming up next month. So you've got about 4 weeks to get your planning in order to make your way to Comic-Con. But let's make it huge. Next up, speaking of RSC is so close to getting underway in anger. Signups are going to be closing very shortly. In fact, we can tell you exactly when they're closing. 6 days, 4 hours, 16 minutes, and 30 seconds. There is still time to sign up for RSC, but not much. And Bromeo, you might as well fill us in on the signups. I believe we are smashing it.
We absolutely are, actually. We were being pretty hyperbolic about it before. We were, saying, well, we're going huge, but it was more hopes than anything. At current, we are sitting at 278 signups. So we're 22 short of your big goal, Greybeard. And that isn't
300.
confirmed yet. Yeah, it's not even confirmed yet. Those are just the ones who've signed up. There will be some who don't meet requirements. They're either Smurfs, haven't played enough games, standard stuff. But either which way, it's more signups than we've ever had, and this is now official. So congratulations, boys. We're now making history again.
And then we start getting serious about RSC this week, because on Wednesday is the first official season 4 stream of RSC season 4. This Wednesday, 7 o'clock, we're having the draft lottery. And if you are not following the RSC channel, make sure you're doing so now, because that's where that will all be hosted. Exclamation RSC will give you the RSC Twitch channel. Be sure to go and follow RSC. So if you aren't, get in there, 7 o'clock, and we got a bit of fun, and we're going to be showcasing some of the cool shit that's coming for RSC in season 4. The draft lottery is always the shortest stream of the season, and for those who don't know what it is, it's just to determine the order in which the franchises get to pick players.
Yeah, that's essentially it. It's going to be a little entertaining stream where 9 out of 10 of the franchises are going to be pretty upset, and 1 is going to be over the moon. And it is changing. It's up slightly a little bit this year, but you will get to see all of that as it pans out on Wednesday. And there have been a few questions about this. Combines are also happening again, and if you missed them this past Wednesday, the second set of combines is happening after the draft lottery at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. So we're going to migrate straight from the draft lottery into the second set of combines, and it's going to be another evening filled with either very good Rocket League or very average Rocket League, because you haven't played in a while.
And that's always the official start of the season, is the draft lottery, because then what follows is a bunch of chaos as all the orgs figure out what the hell's going on, and they jockey for position, and they go through all the signups and the CMVs to see who they might want. And all the backroom deals happen, because just 1 week later, on Wednesday, it's the 6th of August, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, indeed, the 6th of August will be draft day. And that's where every person who has signed up for RSC Season 4 will be picked to a roster. And that is typically one of the longer streams of the RSC season.
Well, yeah, it is traditionally quite long, because everybody does get picked all in one stream. And now that there's 300 names on a list practically, it's going to be an interesting one. And each year, we devise genius ways to talk about and show and display all 300 players, because nobody is more important than the other, down to the lowest prospect like me at the bottom. And I feel like that's the beautiful thing about RSC, and it's something I hope we never lose sight of, is that RSC is for everybody. And we get to talk about you as you get your name called out on stream next week, Wednesday. So we've still got so much to do, and there's so little time that I'm feeling like, as the year goes, there should be less Rocket League happening. It should quieten down, but it's actually just ramping up.
And never mind, I mean, the Rocket League at the top end of things, RLCS. I mean, we have no idea when announcements will come about the next season, what that's going to look like, and we've still got that to look forward to. So who knows how that may shape the future of things. I have a question though. I see Vinko's in chat, as he always is. But are you going to be making your way to Comic-Con this year, Vinko? Will we get to see you there? Or are you going to send representatives once again? Do let us know. Next up, and Bromeo kind of got a little ahead of the game, but really, really important is we have a guaranteed 15,000 Rand prize pool in RSC, but it is in our hands to bump that up. We have for the first ever, and I want to say in the world, and I can't say that definitively, but I kind of feel like it might be a community designed, gamer themed can of energy drink. And if you buy cans of this energy drink, 50 Rand for every 12 can case that you buy, 50 Rand will go to the prize pool. And as at the start of this stream, an additional 550 Rand has been added. So currently the prize pool is 15,550. And once again, exclamation RSC will give you the pre-order link. Go and buy yourself a bunch of boxes and bump up that prize pool. And there you see on screen a picture of the can. It's pretty sexy looking. I haven't tasted it yet, but I've tasted every other flavor of Slayer, and they are pretty banger.
They really, really are. And I think the important thing out of this all is, yes, it is our own, Slayer can. It is an energy drink that if you drink energy drinks, why not drink this one and then support your local league anyway? Because you're going to be enjoying a caffeine-induced gaming experience. Why not make it a Slayer one? So I am so chuffed to see that we've already increased our prize pool by the better part of $1,000 in the week or so that we've had this link up. And we're still, almost 4 weeks away from league play kicking off. So I love the fact that we are able to tell you exactly what the prize pool is as it increases, down to when it happens. And I look forward to sharing it with you guys throughout the season. And I want to see how far this can go. And, and it works out to like $20 a can of energy drinks. So it's a very well-priced limited edition can of Slayer. I was expecting it to be so much more, to be honest. I was preparing to dig deep, but when they said that they were going to give 20% of the entire can's value back to us in the league, that's just absolutely massive. That's their entire profit margin for a can like this. So I'm just super chuffed. And I know it sounds like we're shilling energy drink as often as we can. It's because we are. Because for the first time, it's
Let's
not
sugarcoat that, because it's
No.
sugar-free.
because it's sugar-free. No, but it's the first time that RSC has not been funded out of the pockets of somebody who thought ROC was a good idea and just did it out of good intentions. And that is absolutely massive, because what that means to the average viewer is that RSC is now considered semi-permanent, because it didn't rely on somebody from the community to say, do you know what, I don't feel like having 15,000 Rand in my bank account this year. Why don't you have it, RSC? And I cannot explain how much of a relief that is, because it means that, RSC doesn't have to be a charity. It can be an event for you, but doesn't cost you a thing.
And then also, this also becomes, it's a bit of a use case or a test case as well. We're testing the viability of RSC as a commercial product. Does it involve a lot of people? Do we get a lot of eyes on it? Do we get some sales of cans of energy drink? And if this goes well, and I have no doubt that it will, this then it opens the doors for even more investment in the future into our scene. And the more we get that, the more we will do, the crazier RSC can be. So make sure you're supporting our sponsor Slayer and get your energy drink, and support the players by bumping up the prize pool. And now, speaking of things Lanish, Bromeo, the very big announcement. We have a huge announcement for RSC Season 4. We've been working on this for a number of weeks. We've hinted at the fact that there's news coming, but we had to confirm, we had to get approvals, things had to be done, but it is now confirmed.
I mean, can we get a drum roll? Can we make it a change? I mean, let's just show it on stream and it be it. RSC LAN is confirmed, and it took us a very, very long time of begging and pleading, and strategizing and planning. That is what happened for us to get this event. So, for the first time ever, there's going to be a community LAN, and it's not going to be, it sure as hell not going to be AGC, it's not going to be Metal State, it's going to be us. And I think that is absolutely massive. But Greybeard, you're far better at hyping this up than I am.
So this will be the RSC mid-season tournament. There's always a mid-season tournament sandwiched in the middle of the league. So the very first weekend of October, be in Stellenbosch for the RSC Season 4 mid-season tournament, Saturday, the 4th of October. And so signups will be opening shortly. We're going to need a number of things. Obviously, players to sign up and be there. But in order to sign up for this tournament, you have to either live in Cape Town and be able to get to Stellenbosch, or live anywhere in the world but be able to get yourself to Stellenbosch on the 4th of October. Whoever shows up will be put into a team, and we will have a LAN tournament that day. So that's what we're gonna do. So whoever is there can be there. And Galaxy is asking in chat, why in Stellenbosch? Well, I'll tell you why in Stellenbosch, because the venue for the mid-season tournament for RSC Season 4 is there
I mean,
we go.
he's got the drum rolling and everything.
Gymnasium High School. And this is through the work of Yuckles. He's been punting to get a community LAN there for a long, long time. And he has gotten all the necessary approvals. And we will be descending upon PRG, who have given us their venue, and they have 36 PCs. So you just need to show up with your headset and controller, and you can participate in the LAN. Huge, huge, huge shout out to PRG and to Yuckles in particular, who's made this happen. And it is so banger. And while we're talking about it there you go. There's a video playing of what what it all looks like. Well, you see Yuckles in a suit and tie. There's the hall. That's where we will be playing the LAN. So bring yourselves and bring your family. We are going to have a huge day. And maybe Bromeo, run us through the schedule, because it's on a pretty tight schedule in terms of setup and breakdown and what's going on there. But run us through the weekend.
Well, so basically what's going to happen is you're going to get your cute little butt through to Cape Town as fast as humanly possible. And we're going to set up on the Friday. And after we finish setting up the PCs in the hall, all pretty like, and making sure that the stream is ready to go and all of those fun things, then we're going to have a nice big fat braai on the Friday night. Where we can care and wait for everybody to arrive and then make fun of the people who didn't help us set up. And then on the Saturday, the entire day is going to be dedicated to just Rocket League. It's not going to be a LAN for other things. It's not going to have a Valorant section. It's not going to have a Minecraft section. It's
Mine
not going
what?
to have what's that other game that they play? That thing where they've got champagnes and jumping and building houses and caca as they shoot at each other. Fortnite. It's not going to
I'll
have
tell you
Fortnite
this.
either.
It's definitely not. It's definitely
It's
Rocket
not going to
League.
have that. It's not going to have that. It is just Rocket League, guys. Just Rocket League. And so we'll run the tournament, whatever that tournament looks like. We don't know yet, but it's going to be great. It's going to be comprised with all of the people who can come. And ultimately, that is it. If you can make it to Cape Town, you can play. And if there are any other questions towards it, we'll be answering them in the weeks to come. There is something I'm going to be putting out into the chat right now when I get the link correct. And that will be this. Give me a second. This will be a form that I just want you guys to fill in if you're interested in coming. It doesn't even need to be if you are coming. It's just if this is something that you think is a good idea, then let's do it. So just give that form a fill in, because what we're going to do is we're going to find out how many of you want to come, how many of you are coming, and where you're coming from. Because, for example, if there's a whole bunch of people from Joburg who want to go to this land with us, but flights are too expensive, because they're really expensive, and it's like flying in a Putco bus but in the sky. And then what we can possibly look at doing is combining all of our forces together and, maybe doing an RSC bus from Joburg to Cape Town. We don't know. That's why I need you to fill out this form so we can find out whether it's worthwhile or not. It's like, do we pass by Bloemfontein to pick up a whole bunch of you guys there? We don't know. And if you're in Cape Town, are you planning on coming? Are you using your, holiday house in Somerset West? We don't know. But, fill in the form. Tell us, because this is vitally important so we can plan it, find out who wants to be there, who wants to help behind the scenes, who wants to be the star of the event. But we need as much information as possible, so fill in the form.
And then, of course, also, we're going to need a ton of help. So all sorts of help. So if you want to get involved in helping set it up, plan it, organize it, logistics, whatever, accommodation, whatever, we will definitely need help. So get that form filled in, and so we can gather the army to have a day like no other. But RSC is going to LAN. And so that is our big news, Bromeo.
It's the biggest news. We've been dreaming about this cock for years. Let's not, understate this. This is the biggest thing that's ever happened in our puny little lives. And I am so excited for this, because it's a culmination of all of the stuff that myself, Greybeard, and everybody who's helped in the community has been working towards for years. It's making something that's only ever existed digitally into something real, tangible, and fun. So first of all, pre-thanks need to go out to Yuckles. I know you're in stream watching, so thank you for being an absolute G. And that's why it's so important that this does work. So it means that we can do it again next year at Yuckles' place, just saying, just putting it out there.
Which means we do need to behave, because we want to be invited back.
Oh yeah, and that said, remember the LAN is on the Saturday, which means I'm up for suggestions for a group activity on Sunday. Just to do something fun. Whether it's do the Joburg thing and go climb Lion's Head, or go play laser tag at somewhere. We're not playing laser tag, but I'm just listing ideas here, boys. So.
Well, I'll
fill
tell
in
you
the form,
this:
please.
if I climb Lion's Head, I'll do a shoey at the top, which gives you a sense of the chances of that happening.
Oh man, don't manifest stuff like that into the universe unless you don't want it to happen. And if y'all, speaking of shoeys, I know there was a big one here now, a push for it in chat. I'm happy to do a shoey anytime. I've done it on stream already. I'll do it again, because I'm just better at it. And for those of you who think that you can do it better, then I will be meeting you in Cape Town in a couple of weeks' time. And you can tell me to my face that you can shoey better than me, and we'll figure it all out there. So if you needed a reason to come to Cape Town and it wasn't Rocket League, then we have some issues, but it doesn't have to be the only reason. So yeah, there we go. There we go.
And then while we're talking things party, it is worth mentioning that we have a big birthday today. Daps is has turned 22, and I haven't seen him. He's probably out. He's obviously out partying somewhere. He's normally in chat. He isn't tonight, but huge happy birthday to Daps. Good man. And so drop him a DM and tune him happy birthday. So Daps, good shit. And I think that's and I'm always concerned about, there's so much going on these days that I'm, when I say that's all the news, I'm not 100% convinced. Is that all the news, Bromeo?
I will need to check quickly just to make sure, because lists are a thing. We've ascertained that's the best idea to carry these things through. So I think that is everything for now. Just remember that there is a nice little ticking clock underneath us as we talk. That is how much time you have left to sign up for RSC. And we mean it seriously. Like once that's finished, then there's no more sign up time, and then it means that we have to talk about fun stuff that doesn't include you, and that's not fun at all. I don't want to be the person who does that, and I'm sure you don't want to either. So if you're watching the stream and you're not playing RSC, first of all, I don't judge you. I'm just disappointed, but it's not done yet. You still have time. You still got 6 days, 3 hours, 54 minutes, and some seconds to get your butt into RSC. And then it gives you a reason to go to Cape Town, have a good time, meet us both, make you realize, wow, I'm more fun than Greybeard. And yeah, no, that's my whole shtick. Sign up for RSC 4.
And also promote it to everybody. I do disseminating when I'm in game. I ask people if they've signed up, and when they say what, we get them. We get them on Discord. I think I've got 3 or 4 people over the weekend to sign up for RSC by doing that. So make sure that you do it. So a quick recap of everything. Ascension Protocol, the $1,500 Chalkcast sponsored 1v1 tournament is happening this coming weekend. Signups for that close on Wednesday. The 2v2 Cash Cup signups are closed, but that tournament gets underway tomorrow. Tuesday and Wednesday will be that tournament. I'll be streaming parts of it. Comic-Con is coming up next month, and then RSC signups closing in the, as you can see there, 6 days, 3 hours, 53 minutes. And the draft lottery this Wednesday night, 7 o'clock on the RSC stream. Come and join us there. We're going to have ourselves some fun while the franchises determine the order in which they will pick their players. And that is that. Oh, I need to go and see if we're gonna raid anyone as we come to the close. If there's any questions or comments in chat. Did we get an answer from Vinko, by the way? Is he coming to Comic-Con? I see he's just answered. I don't know if I missed his answer earlier when I asked.
To be fair, I wasn't reading either, which I should have been. But I will be seeing him in Bloom as well before that time, so I will make sure to drag him to Joburg in any case.
Alrighty, well, we are gonna go and raid Pyro J, who is live, and the man is on the grind. I think he might be doing a subathon or a long stream or something going on there. And this man streams for a living, so go there and support him. Did the raid? Did it engage? I never know.
It did engage. It is going to happen. You just need to fire it. Yeah.
All right, good. Well, let's go and raid Pyro. Go and tune in. Hello, how's it? I will see you during the course of this week for the 2v2 Cash Cup, the Ascension Protocol 1v1 finals on Sunday. I'll be streaming. I'll be joined by Bromeo, Machtfish, and Johnny Boy for the grand final. But that'll be all from us. Until next time, peace. We're out.